Magic.
Anyway, I am recording now. Alright, so what we're doing is using the Against the Darkmaster system on the Forge to build character for Robin for one of the Monday night games. I've got Singa created, and I had to create a whole bunch of things. So we'll probably have to create a bunch of things for you too. But an awful lot of them are drag and drop. So here are the items. I'll just show you across the top. On your own time, you can come in and play with these dice settings. I'll leave them alone. You can take the tour if you like for Dice So Nice. That's where the dice roll across the screen and stuff. I don't bother with it much.
Okay, very good.
Combat encounters will be done in here. No worries. Scenes. We only have the 2 scenes at the moment. The one that comes with it, and then I built one for the big world map, updated today with his grand new evil lands up here, Astoria and Bretonia down here. And I put our player marker where we are, which is here. And adjusted the grid at great pain to match the grid on his darned map. So you can take the party and move them around by hexes if you want. Anyway.
Oh, like a campaign overmap?
Yeah. And Kingsgate is down here for those who are interested, because we'll be playing from Kingsgate at some point, some of us. Then you have all of the actors, and this is my view of it, and I've got a bunch of stuff getting ready. Yours, mine, some templatey type stuff, some other stuff, some items that I'm working on, some items that I've made before, organizational stuff, so folders worth of items that can be copied onto actors. It's a drag and drop system, so you build something and then you can drag it onto the actor. This is the core of what makes this thing work. All of the attack and critical tables show up, and they're interactive.
So nice.
So when this pops up after you roll an edged attack, and you say it's 26 lethal, you click on 26 lethal, and a message comes on with draggable stuff. So you can drag the 26 hits, if you're a GM, onto somebody you don't own. That's the thing with permissions in this game. In Foundry. You can only affect something that you own.
Okay.
That's the simple version of it. There are a few different layers of permissions, but that's the basics. So a player cannot drop damage onto a bad guy. The GM has to. The whole lethal pierce thing, you drop this on yourself, and it will change your critical strike drop down from whatever it is to lethal, at which point you then do that. Oh, you've got to have your token selected. Anyway, that will bring up a little menu with the critical strike, and then I'm just going to go find it. Let's say it was a cut. There you are. So a cut critical strike, and we rolled this. Then it shows up there, and they always... Sorry, I think there's only one case where there isn't a choice. You either have a shield or you don't have a shield, and you drag the appropriate one onto the target, and it applies whatever this is. It doesn't do the D5, but what it does do is bring up a wound, creates a wound, and you can edit it. So you can roll your 1d5 like poor Farzan did last time, and then you can enter the 25 penalty. The bleed will already be there, and various other stuff will be there. And wounds allow you to track them over time. So if you're trying to get yourself healed, you can use the wound item to track the information, so you don't need to take notes and do other stuff like that for it. So that's that automation bit. Okay, so that's the attack and criticals. Then there's the miscellaneous tables, which when you roll a skill, you'll have a link. Why don't we just bring somebody up? Singa, roll cooking. For Pete's sakes. Need to put him on the map. There he is. Roll cooking. So, no particular modifiers. Cooking. He rolls cooking. And so, then you have a link to the skill journal entry. They're all blank. They're just there so that this doesn't throw an error. And then the action resolution table. So I rolled a 133. 133 is just plain success. So anywhere and this table you don't need to bring up very often, but it's just there so that you can refer to it if you need to.
Right.
More important for things like the spell table, spell casting table. Yeah, there's a lot more variety going on in here, but it's also dynamic. So you can pick the result that you're interested in, which will send a message to the chat indicating which one you chose. And then we've got fumble tables and so on, which are also interactive. Anything else that's of interest? Yeah, this magic resonance table would have been useful last time. I think he got lucky. Yeah, he got this result. So when I click on that, it puts that information in the chat. Okay.
Yeah, excellent.
So that's those. Then there are the empty placeholder skill description journals. I'll be making the full version of those for the premium edition of this. Spell descriptions. So these are required, and they're a little bit interactive. So if I click on this, it'll bring up the lore, which is this, which has the rest of the list, which in turn can bring up whatever, and that's the spell itself. I think that sent it to the chat so that people could see which spell you were about to cast or which one you did, and have the general information there. Now, back to this first one. In the spell book, the grimoire in the rules, there's more information down here, as in what the spell actually does, and any additional weaves. That's premium content. Okay? So, spell descriptions, spell lores. Okay, that's it for the journals.
And the the filter is good and responsive, the search filter?
Yeah, so if I type
Yeah,
Adroit,
perfect.
then that one pops up.
I mean, it's just a database. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is a database now. Sorry, these ones are now. Anyway, so the various other journals are attack, miscellaneous skills, spell lore. Those are the ones I've imported. And then I just... Ooh. Okay. That was a screenshot of the achievement list. I guess I'll just create that again. And then I created a consolidated one of these, which is sort of useless because they're all empty. And a consolidated one of these, which is a little less useless. Okay. But there's a difference in fetching a journal, which is the whole thing, and fetching a page from a journal. So I'm still working on those technical details. There are some macros, which, have I imported them? I have, but I do need to do everyone has observer so that you can open this yourself and grab one of those, let's say, whoops, and drag that out. So attack rolls. And what that does for us is what I call token-based operations. So I've selected this, my token, and I hit attack rolls, and all of the attacks that he has on his sheet pop up in a list, and I say I want ranged composite bow, and then it brings up that with all of the things that can modify it. So if I happen to be attacking goblins, then I would click on that. If I'm attacking them from the rear, I would do that. If I had spent 2 rounds aiming, I would do that. And then we'd end up with this, and then I'd roll. It would do that. Yeah, okay.
Holy moly.
242, so we'll call it 150 on light armor. Whoops, 150 is here. That's the 26 and a lethal, and off we go. 1 dead gobbo. So, that's how that works. That's what I mean when I say macros. For opening, there's some for skills, some for spells, saves, crit fails, all kinds of stuff.
The macros that are there, they do, when you say that they create an entry for each and every weapon on the list, like for instance, if you had, like in the case of my character, I have weapon specialization. So if I was trying to use the pole arms skill with a different weapon, would I just have to apply modifiers on the roll, or would I?
No. So what you do?
Appear as its own macro?
I'll get to that in a minute, because the I'm just trying to go through all of the stuff on the top and then get to the character sheet. So there are rollable tables for randomizing choices of things, like an encounter table or whatever. There are other uses for them as well that I found, but that's basically what they're for. Cards. You can make decks of cards. All kinds of cards. That's pretty handy, especially in a game like say Heroic or something like that. One of Bear's games.
Yeah.
I think you could do cards. You can hand them out. You could put them on the table. People could pick them up, and I've paid no attention to cards whatsoever, so I don't know. Music. You like background music? That's possible to do music stuff. Compendia, this is where your system data and world data is stored. If you create a compendium here, it'll be associated with the world. The dice indicate the system. And if I create a compendium and say my stuff, and it's going to have items, then you see that that one has New Dawn of the West, which is the name of the I don't know where it is. Well, New Dawn of the West is the name of the game. Game world, I mean. And it's got a world symbol next to it. So, that's how you do those. Finally, settings. One that you're probably going to want to do immediately, although you won't notice it just yet, is in the core. Disable king, enable chat bubbles. I disable those. I hate them. Pan to token speaker. I hate that. Scrolling status text. Sure. I don't know what that means. This one. Left click to release objects. Yes, please. And that is a per browser setting. So everybody has to do that for themselves.
Okay.
Left click to release object.
On the game.
Otherwise, you have to select a piece of the screen in order to unselect your token. That just allows you to click anywhere on the screen. So I go for performance medium and frame rate 30. Might as well show the FPS meter. Font size is fine. Save those changes. It's going to refresh, reload, and we're all good. Now, in the configure settings, there's the Against the Darkmaster settings, and then the settings for every module that I currently have open. We're not doing that yet. Prevent table pop-up. Prevent attack tables from oh yeah, somebody asked me to do that. They didn't like the tables popping up automatically. They wanted to use their own books or whatever.
Okay. What was in front of them?
Yeah, but we're using the damn tables. Combat trackers Against the Darkmaster. We've got all of those things, and those things. Those show test data. No, no, no. no, no, save just in case. Manage modules, we won't worry about that. Okay. Now, tour management. If you want to figure out how Foundry works, don't listen to me. Go through this. Welcome to Foundry Virtual Tabletop. And all of these. And then there's the one for Dice So Nice. Very helpful. And it'll tell you how things work, what all these controls are and so on. Not this one, because that's from a module called Stairways. That allows you to teleport from one spot to another, which makes going up and down stairs very handy. Okay. Character. The character sheet. The skills tab. So this is the classic view. There's another view, which is the original, my original one, which I called dynamic, which is a very simple but busy look. Combat, very, very busy. Lots of stuff. Trying to figure out which thing you want to click is somewhat difficult. And then we have the All Items tab, which has a list of every item that is on your sheet. Singa has 157 items on him.
It's like landing an airplane.
So everything from his bearing stat is an item. So if you don't like it as bearing, you can change it. Yeah. So I built this thing to be flexible, house rulable, so you can do just about anything with it. So, classic. This is what the guys wanted. They said, we want it to look like the paper sheet. So here we are. Sort of. Because it is a computer sheet. Anyway. All of your passions. And you can add more. So, on the All Items tab at the top, there are all of the categories of things. And if you hit plus next to one of them, it'll create a new one for you. So a passion is a trait. And let's just have a look at allegiance, because I'm not going to make another one. But it is a passion. Sorry, it is a trait. There are revelations, passions, kin special traits, backgrounds, and experience hooks. Those are going to be very useful. Okay. So if you need more, like who your mentor was for something or whatever, then you can create a new one with a new line instead of going off the end of the line, like I have with my stuff. Drive points. You can record, if you right-click, it sets it to that point. If you left-click, it erases to that point. Did I get that right? No. Left-click sets it. Right-click unsets
Right-click
it.
clears it.
Yeah. So rather than having to go click, 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 plus, plus, plus to get somebody who's got 45 heroic path, you just click there. Okay. Your stats section. You create a base value. You drop a kin template on it and it will enter those. Any special stuff from gifted, in this case, adds it in the special column, and then you end up with a total. If you ever have to, for some reason, roll just your stat, you may by clicking on the scroll. Save rolls. Same sort of deal, except you can click on the total and see why the total is what it is. Okay. Your special abilities, when you click on them, brings them up. They're sorted. The position of them is sorted by this this choice, unless they are something else. So you see the difference between those two items. This is a trait. This is a modifier. But it's a modifier pretending to be a trait. So by putting the word kin in this modifier, it gets itself collected with the rest of the kin traits.
All right. So, for instance, the save bonus versus fire,
Exactly.
that is a racial trait for half orcs,
Absolutely.
can be configured here. Okay.
Now, fortunately, that's already built. You don't have to worry about it.
Oh, super.
Yeah. Well, a lot of that stuff's built. It's the backgrounds that we're going to have to build. I think everything except the backgrounds is built. And I'm working on those. So, what this does, what this allows you to do is use one item for two purposes. It is a modifier which you can toggle on and off, unless, as in this case, it's always on. And it can behave like a trait. So with that wording at the bottom, and you hover over it, and you can see that wording in the bottom. Second breakfast does the same thing, or you can open it and see superstitious is just wording, but sure shot is a modifier. Alrighty, so let's get your kin in there first. So go up to this compendium pack, open VsD items, and open
Something is weird has happened to my sheet. For some reason, my section at the top has collapsed.
Yep.
And so I don't have the place to put my do I just click?
Yep.
Oh, dar. Okay.
And same thing with the passions if you want them out of the way. There are a few of those in here, so attacks. Nope. Interesting. Huh. There are more of those on the... right. So I guess that's the only place where there are any. Those two will do it. So what? Yeah, it's on the dynamic sheet where there are a whole bunch more of them, because they tended to get quite long, so you wanted to collapse sections. Anyway, so what we're looking for is kin templates. And what you'll want to do is take the half-orc kin template and drag it onto your sheet.
See items. So in templates, half orc. There we go.
Now I know you've done it because look next to your name.
Nice.
So when you drag the template on, it pops that up there. And when you scroll down, you'll see that there are a whole bunch of special abilities that have been added, as well as your kin modifiers. Okay?
Awesome.
Now, base stat values.
Still works.
What's that?
Hello?
There's a loud humming noise.
Hi.
Okay, what's
Just
going
wanted to check it out.
Oh, we were just doing a quick run through of Foundry that we're recording for later on.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry to bug you guys then.
No
Oh, no
worries.
worries, bud.
You can watch all you like. I was
Was
just surprised to hear somebody.
Well, I was, Bear was going to be running a game of Against the Darkmaster for us, and I just was wondering what you guys were doing with it.
Sure. We're just recording a character build.
All right, I'll get out of your way.
No worries. Cheers. So, yeah, I've used that trick to put the base stat values and the ranks level 1 right here where you can see them on the front, rather than having you go look for them.
Oh, excellent.
So if you...
Should I do my vocation now?
Why don't we... yeah, we'll do the vocation first. So, vocations. Yeah, you've dragged warrior on there, you're all good. And then you've got a culture.
Yes. Oh, and nice. And so I can tweak the skill ranks for culture
Well,
as I wish.
what we'll do is we'll go over and we'll have a look at advancement. And you can see that the culture ranks are there and the level 1 ranks are there. So if you look at is there anything you need to tweak?
Nope. No, I grabbed default.
Okay, because if you had a noble culture, then yes, you would have some spell lores to sort out, right?
Ah, very cool.
Now, it does say wealth level +1 for your culture. And I think, what's the other thing? Is it half-orc itself? Wealth 0. So,
yeah.
Did you already set that to wealth level 1?
I had already set it to level 1.
Okay, good. Because that's what your wealth level is, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
That's correct.
And you're just a warrior, so you're not going to worry about magic points. And we'll worry about your hit points later. So, that's kin, culture, vocation are good. Let us sort out your base stat values.
Okay.
So you open that up and just enter the numbers.
Sorry, where I'm sorry, I wasn't watching. I was watching my screen, not yours. When
Right here.
Basic stat numbers. Okay, good. So brawn. And that is done.
Okay. Now, what we'll do is, because we've got the word kin in there, it's showing up in here. If you want to leave it accessible, we can. Otherwise, we can simply change it to character. Not character, just we can leave that one blank, and then it'll disappear from this list and unclutter things. Up to you what you want to do with it. It's your character.
Okay.
Okay. So if you simply delete the word kin, then it'll go away. Dark sight, is there anything we need to do with that? No.
Nope.
Fire hardened. It is conditional and resets after every roll. So we'll find on the skills tab down below, fire hardened should be down here somewhere. No, saves. That's combat. So yeah, there's fire hardened. But basically, if you're about to roll a saving roll by using toughness, shoot, got to select yourself. Let's get you out there. There you are. So if we roll toughness, you'll see that fire hardened is an option in the list because it affects saving rolls. Okay? So you select fire hardened and then it modifies it, and you can see fortitude, level, fire hardened, half orc all contribute to that plus 50. Okay. The kin is there. These are the kin modifiers for you to look at, and in particular check these out because it tells you you've got your 5 background points, no magic points, and no wealth, and what your culture should be. So this is helpful for character creation. Then I'm just skipping the ranks. Sneaky is a modifier, it's always on, and your vocation, your warrior vocation modifiers are in there so that they're handy for you as well. So just the idea is all of the character building stuff ends up in here for you to get at it easily. So, equipment. Why don't we give you some weapons? What weapons do you actually have?
I have part of the background I had the short spear with the plus 10 modifier.
Right. Well, let's put a short spear on there first.
Did you do it already? I'm sorry.
No, I'm not doing it. You're doing it.
Okay, excellent. There's a lot of options. Short spear. There we go.
Not seeing it yet.
Oh, sorry. I clicked it and then a window opened up. So I was trying to see if I could be really clever and figure out how to do the +10 without you telling me. But sadly, I'm not quite so clever.
Do you have natural armor?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, I bet you I left that in the darn template.
Oops.
Let me just check. And so I did. Crap. Okay. I will.
Does it save?
Oh no, it's fine. It's
Okay.
not going to do anything. But yeah, that's crap. I thought I was careful. What else? What other weapons are you carrying?
Dagger, and that's it.
Okay, and there's a dagger on there already. We're good. So these aren't actually weapons. These are attacks.
Okay.
Right? So if you think of them as attacks, then you'll be fine. Now, you do have a short spear, so what we'll do is, you say it's a +10 magic sword?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a
so then we'll do
special
pole
item.
arms +10 is the easiest way to do that.
All right.
And same thing for this
Now,
guy.
if I were to have
Another short spear?
no. If no, but if I have the weapon specialization,
We'll get there.
oh, okay.
Because it's going to change things. As we add
Yes, it
things,
will.
they're going to change other things. Okay, so that's that. What about armor?
Lamellar armor. So
Okay.
or however that is pronounced.
There you go. And do you have a shield?
I do. I have a target shield.
Excellent. So at the moment, those are both equipped. And now have a look at the top corner. This is your defensive information. So at the moment, your shield is on the side. You can change it so that your shield is in the front.
Oh, very cool.
Okay. At the moment, you're not parrying. If you parry for 25, those numbers go up. If you are surprised, that's your DB. Your normal DB is 25. Your armor type is medium. There's that. If we take your shield and put it to the side, then you've got your parry is to the front. You cannot parry to the side. So this is your 25 plus 15 and 25 plus 5.
Okay.
If you unequip your target shield, have a look up here and see what happens when you're doing it.
All right, so just untoggle it.
Untoggle it, it changes to no shield.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
So if you have no shield and you're parrying, you may be carrying two weapons. So it says by default, all of your parry goes to the right-hand side, but you can also say, nope, I'm splitting it to my 10 to my main gauche, so 15's going that way and 10's going that way. So the system allows you to do that. Okay. Penalty. This is if you have any action penalties, it displays here and will alter things automatically. The bleed will display here, but doesn't actually decrement automatically.
Okay, so it doesn't come off of your hit points. Okay.
No, it doesn't. Your wealth level, your level, the experience, and how many you need for the next level.
Cool.
Magic points. Yep, got that. Currently whoops, click on the arrow. Unencumbered. You're probably
lightly
encumbered.
is what I have configured on this.
You're medium-sized. You're moving. If you decide you're swimming, you're not moving. We'll figure that one out in a minute. Okay.
Yes, I noticed I went to no shield right away, which makes sense. Unless you're surfing.
Right. So the maximum swiftness is plus 25. your swiftness is 20. You have a minus 45 move action penalty. That is going to suck.
Okay. So,
But that is countered by your armor skill. This isn't countered by anything. And these things add up. Interesting. Oh, that's why you've got 25, because you got a 20 swiftness and 5 for the armor. That's why your base DB is 25. Okay. All good. So, we've added armor, shield, weapon. What else do we need in the way of equipment? Nothing, I think.
Nothing. No, that's right.
Saves, crits, failures, those are already on there. Spell lores, we don't have any of those. Do you have any? You do have specialty skills. So have a look in the skills pile, and we'll go over to the skills tab and watch as you drop these suckers. What secondary skill or specialty skills do you have?
Weapon specialization.
Just that? Okay.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
So it's way at the bottom. Drag that over. There it is, you've already done it. And what you'll probably want to do is edit it. Because that's a very long name. I would... Oops.
WS, short
Sorry,
spear.
I need to right-click and edit. Weapon spec. Short spear. That'll work. Now the reason it says undefined is because you haven't declared any ranks for it, in anything. So it's saying I don't know how to calculate this. So what we're going to do is go to ranks level 1, open that up. How many ranks?
I'm sorry.
Just a minute. You can see the DP level here. So there's a couple of places you can do this. You can see how many DP you have to spend here, or you can go to the advancement tab and you can open that up to change it if you need to, or you're not going to change this one, and this is the one you currently have open. But you probably want to see what it's doing to the skills as you're tinkering with it, so there it is there. So go ahead and assign the development points for your first level.
I'm sorry, again, I missed you where you clicked for ranks.
Down here.
Thank you, ranks level 1. Okay, so now am I putting everything, or am I putting it? Because I mean, what I have on my sheet is sort of the final product. So should I just put that for now?
Don't worry. No, not the final product. What you're doing is you're spending your level 1 DPs. So 2 in armor.
Okay. Oh dear.
Okay. How many? Where did you put your points for combat?
Well, from my vocation, I get some ranks by default.
Yep.
And they're already in there. Okay.
Yep.
So I put 1 there. So I put none there. Sorry. I only wrote down on the Roll20 sheet the final results, so I'm sort of trying to math on the fly here.
See, that's why I like this system, because it allows you to build them up.
Yeah, lets you to build it as you go.
Yeah.
So, athletics...
you can't put 3 in pole arms.
Why not?
Because you can put a maximum of 2 in each.
Oh, can I? I did not know that. Okay.
So we'll take pole arms back down to 2. There you go. So 1, 2, 1, and then you had weapon specialization, right?
That's right, yeah.
That's where you ended up with your other 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
So what we'll do is we'll take weapon specialization, And note that I'm cheating.
Okay.
Copy. Paste. 2. And you see that it immediately went from...
Okay, having 2 as a... okay,
Yeah.
as the sort of the initial.
Yeah. Sorry, it's not 2. It was 1 point... No, this is a background. You didn't spend your 2, did you? Or did you? Did you spend extra points on weapon specialization?
We were granted 1 in
Yes.
the campaign notes as a free weapon specialization.
Uh-huh.
And then I added... So, okay, basically in the end, and maybe this is super bad, in the end my ranks was 11.
Ooh.
Because I took the background, which would let me add 5 ranks.
Yes.
I had the 1 free from Bear for the beginning, and then
2 more?
then I had 2 more.
That should be
so
it.
that should be okay. Really, all right. So
Except,
that's a total of 8.
except you won't be able to add. Rules as written, max 7 on the first, because you can get the 5 for the background, and you can buy 2 ranks. So when you're spending development points, you can't gain more than 2 ranks in any one skill.
I did not know that. Okay,
Now,
I didn't take that into
he said
consideration.
you can have an extra specialty skill. It didn't have to be weapon specialization. There are lots more of them. So what you have there is, we'll say 2 ranks for now, because that's your level 1. That's what you've wanted to do. What about the athletics? You got 4 DP for athletics.
Yeah, I guess. Boy, I'm gonna have to redo this now completely, because I didn't read in the rules that there was a maximum of 2 for per level. So I went and maxed them onto very small things. So
we can do it now.
Well, you have only 5 more minutes, right?
Pretty close to that, yeah.
Okay.
But that's fine. So 4 points. Athletics is very useful. Because that is your run, swim, climb, jumping, riding. I don't know whether you guys
didn't
are
bother
particular
putting any
riders.
in riding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wit.
Hunting, I had left 0.
Nature and wandering.
Nature, I had left 0.
Okay.
I left it at the basic 1 that I get for the desert. Same thing with wandering. So I could add a bit more into wandering.
So where did you put your points?
I put them all into athletics.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I put...
Yeah. Definitely 2 in athletics. I'd say 1 in nature, 1 in wandering. Just for...
Right.
Or, if you don't want to, you can take those 2 points and spend that 1 point somewhere else. As long as you don't violate the maximum of 2 rule. Probably not. Well, who knows?
Now, can we modify the weapon specialization to make it brawn as well, or did we do that later?
No, it's not. It doesn't depend on... sorry, specialty skills don't depend on stats.
Oh, okay. So when...
Well, sorry, some of them do, some of them don't.
Okay, so when it comes time to resolving attacks, I will just have a different...
Oh, we'll have a different modifier to make that happen, because that's a house rule.
Got it.
See, this is doing rules as written at the moment. So let me see. We've done adventuring. Now get down to roguery. Spend your 2 points.
I had put... there was already...
I would highly recommend perception.
Yes, I believe it was...
For both points.
Yes.
You're not sneaky. You're not acrobatic.
I am not. I'm
but
not
you want
deceptive.
to be perceptive. You get none in lore. Say again?
I'm looking at this, and I think I forgot to actually do them on my character sheet in Roll20, because I have only the base ranks.
Okay.
So I think I skipped that one.
So take 2 points in body. Unless you have some strange reason for not doing it.
I assure you I do not.
Good. And that gets you to number 85, which I think sounded familiar.
Yeah, and then I've also got the background.
Yep. Okay. So, but that's
background.
your first level ranks done. So we
Okay.
can close that. And then we need to work on your background options.
Why do I have kin -5 on my weapons?
It's not actually kin. It's a sum of all kinds of penalties. And the reason it's -5 is probably because of
my weapon
that.
or my armor.
Your armor, -5 to
Right.
CMB. The move action penalty is going to show up in kin as well.
Right.
For athletics, ride, acrobatics, stealth. But you're sneaky. That's why it's only -10. Right? So your armor is doing that to you.
Oh.
Yeah? That's why it sucks to be wearing armor you aren't trained for.
I don't understand why a warrior wouldn't have some kind of innate training for armor. I guess
you do. Okay. You've got 5 ranks in that shit.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's all kinds. You're just wearing too much
Okay.
armor for your level.
It's taking 25 off the 20, off the 45, and leaving me with 20 penalty.
Correct.
Got it.
All right, so let's get your background options going. We're going to, because flaws don't exist in rules as written,
right.
What I'm going to do is take them from me. Come on. Bugger. Oh, I didn't enable those to drag. I'm going to have to go from here. So what I'm going to do is, are they traits? They're probably traits. At least some of them are. Others are modifiers. Okay. So, what flaws did you take?
I took poor training major.
Okay. Poor training. We'll drop that over there and leave it open so we can edit it.
Okay. I took obsession minor.
Which
I don't think you have.
No, I don't, but it's a modifier, right? No, it's not a modifier. It's just text.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll drop that over.
Oathsworn minor.
And that one is again text.
Yes, that's right. And lastly, arrogance.
That's it. Nope, that's all you get. You get a 1 major and 2 minors. Yep. 5 points.
Okay.
That's what he said in his note. You either, what the heck was it? 2 majors and, sorry, 1 major and 2 minors, or 4 minors? Yeah.
Okay.
My mistake. So poor training major. What skills did you choose?
I chose
for the -5s.
The -5 ride and brawl.
Okay.
And for the -20s, blunt and blades.
Oh, okay. So you did that. Good enough. So you see what I'm typing.
Yeah.
And I will delete that one. So you're -5 on ride and brawl skill, -20 on blunt and blades skill. Now I wonder. What did mine look like? I need to open that up. We may have to fiddle with that one later because it's an unusual one. Attacks polearms. Yeah, not the skill, but attacks. I think I'm going to replicate that one. See, that's a fault of the system, is that attacks and skills are a bit tricky. Oh, and there's brawl. Of course there is. I think this is going to work properly. I'll just drag that up there so it's with that one. Ah, of course. Yeah, there's some kind of a flaw with the dice tray. Every time I move these with it enabled, it rolls dice. Or at least it sounds like it rolled dice. Okay, so that's that done. Now, you said oath sworn.
Yeah.
So I'm going to open the Grievous Grimoire. Flaws.
Oh, and just grab the text out of it?
Yeah. Oath sworn. Minor. Copy. Paste. That'll do. All good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then the last one was obsession.
Correct.
All right. So those are set. And if you hover over them, then it'll bring up the text. Okay. You're quite right. My wife is on her way home. So we can finish this part later. And because we need to do the backgrounds and we also need to do modifiers for them and so on. So we can find another time to tidy those up.
Yeah, I mean, we have until August, so.
Yeah. So they'll end up being like this. So that for an example. Ancient Heirloom Minor plus 10 Magic Composite Bow gives you 10 to attacks with a ranged composite bow. That kind of thing is what you're going to be creating. Okay? So if you'd like, you can give it a go. What I will do is configure ownership, all players, observer on my character, so you can look at mine for an example. All right?
Perfect.
And you can carry on. I'm just going to stop recording and exit.
Well, thank you very much for your help. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yeah, I think you should be fine.
Yeah,
Do
so
let me know if you need
I must
anything.
have mathed really bad because it's like I was thinking I could have sworn I had 5 background points, but of course, yeah, no, one major and 2 minor is 5 background points.
Yep.
So
it is.
because I was busy trying to figure out which additional background to take away. But no, I do have 10 background points to work with, so I'm still good with my backgrounds.
Because it was 5 plus 5.
Flaws, I had 1 too many. So
Excellent.
cool.
Well, have fun with that, and I'll see you
Thank
later.
you so very much. Yeah,
You're
take
welcome.
care, James.